Hello dear friends, and welcome to Toolbox Tuesday. Let's see what goodies we've got in store today. Welcome to another vlog. I'm going to do a Toolbox Tuesday. This is Danny over at DG Retro Customs. Go check him out, give him a sub and a like. It's just a joke, but let's have a look. Let's look at Toolbox Tuesday. I'm just going to spin you around. So here they are. Look, here's my two toolboxes. Well, two of my toolboxes. There's a third over by the lake. That's Lathe. Fucking lake. Right. It's going to slip back into normality for me if I'm not careful. So, what we're going to do on Tuesday, we're going to pick a drawer. And we're going to examine the contents. Now, this one's a mess. I've done a little bit in it, but it's a mess. Oh, which one? Should we? No, not that one. Or this one even. I've done these a little bit, tidied them out, ready. No, not that one. This one. No, not that one. Oh, it's so tempting, isn't it? Which one we're going to go for? I vote we go for this one. And in here we have spanners. And a lot of fucking spanners. These are all my Imperial spanners. Not all. Mostly Imperial. I've got some shiny new ones and some stubbies, look, that I use day to day. But these are the ones I've collected over the years. And in here we've got Austin Car Company. Look. There's an American one here. Yeah, here it is, look. Fairmont, made in the USA. What size is that? 25-30 seconds, because we all need one of them. We find ourselves reaching for one of them. 5/8, much more common. 15 mil just over in new money. 5/16 Whitworth. Quarter Whitworth. Oh, these are proper old, what do you call these, bed spanners. And I don't fucking know why. Bed spanners. That's not, that's a 15/16 AF, 13/16. Again, it's an odd size. Oh, wow, what's this chunk? This one's 1/2 inch Whitworth. That's a chunky monkey. And I've got one here that's not in there because it's too big. But look at this bad boy. It belongs in there, but there ain't room. This is a big Whitworth spanner. Gordon Sheffield. Chrome vanadium. It's 1 inch British standard 7/8 Whitworth. Well, it can't be both, can it? So 1 inch BS, don't know, 7/8 Whit. That end is 1.1/8 BS, 1 inch Whitworth is. So there you go. So that ends Toolbox Tuesday. Right, now you all know my little Atlas lathe. And I've got a quick change tool post on there. I managed to source one of the original tool holders and it came yesterday. Let's have a look at it, eh? There it is. It's an Armstrong tool holder number 00-S, and it would have cost, look, $1.80, complete with wrench and one high-speed cutter. From Armstrong Eros Tool Company, Chicago, in the USA. And it did come complete with wrench. Look. The camera will focus. Little wrench with the Armstrong logo on it. I've not touched it, I've not cleaned it or anything. 5/16 square. And it's a tool holder. Again with the Armstrong, look at that. Amazing. Just the logo, look, the work that's gone into producing that. And it is numbered 00-S, patented tool holder with its 5/16 fitting. And here, this is what's amazed me. I mean, this just made my day. Let's flip it, get it right for you. Look at that, 3/16 Momax. Ooh, See if we can read the tiny little writing. Trademark. Something probably registered. I can't see it. USA. Patent Office. The CTD company. And then it's got engraved, this is T33-50-01, don't know. Maybe it's a batch number. But it's ground. It's not only is it tiny, it's ground into a general purpose cutting tool. More of a facing tool looking at the cut, but you know, there it is. I mean, it's like Action Man gear, isn't it? It's unbelievably tiny and she's so precious. Let's get it set up and see how it works. So I'll get a better shot so you can see it in all its glory. Let me move this look. There it is. This is how it sits. So it's got a crescent in the bottom of this, and you pivot, you tip it up and down, and then tighten this top bolt to get your centre right. Now looking at it, here's me ranting about that, raving about that tool bit. I'm not sure it's going to work. I think it needs a bit of clearance off one of the angles, but we've set it at tool height. It's all tweaked. Let me just make sure. Obviously, these things are never over rigid, but this is not made for building ships, so it's not really a problem. I'm going to have a trial cut, and if I need to address the shape of the tool, the profile of the tool, then I'll do that off camera. But we'll have a go, see what happens. Do a bit of brass. Okay, so yeah, it was not finished. The grind wasn't finished. The preliminary shape was there, but it had no relief to miss it was fouling on the stock. So I've gone over and addressed that, and this is live. The first trial cut. Now this cut has got to be 80 years old, maybe 100 years old. So matches the lathe perfectly. Not a setup that I would use on a regular basis. I've got drop one down. I've got my quick change, modern quick change, and it's so much easier than this. It took me ages just to set this to the right height, you know, it's a faff. And should you have to move it, the thing's going to cock up and you're going to be like, in a word of, I suppose you get the knack, you get the hang of it, and it was the best thing that they had in the day. You know, we're only one step up from wood lathes. Anyway, let's have a go. Come on, girl. It's a bit cold this morning. Yeah, off we go. So, there we go then. Light cut on brass. I'm a bit nervous, to be fair. Oh no, look at that. Off she goes. Whee! Not quite centred. I could do with a little bit more angle, but I'm scared to death to move it because of losing the height. You can see it's rubbing on the back of the tool, so maybe a little bit more grinding weren't needed, and just sod-all clearance. I'll check out Mr. Pete's, how he sets this up, but the sod-all clearance on the back of the tool holder to the chuck. Maybe I need to move this round that sideways, don't know. I'll have a faff, but there you go. So sorted. That's this morning's jolly. It's another quick one. When it comes to holding cables underneath the rear mudguard or fender, so I'll bring it over to the bench actually. So in there, you're going to have a tail light in there, and this has got some fender struts, and on those are some little marker lights. So you've got wires for this shit, and we don't want it dragging and catching on the tyre. So what I do is cut some strips out of sheet metal. It's 1.2mm. Just guesstimate that they're all about the same size. Nobody sees them. Round one end off, and then I do a little dog leg bend in the vise. Just clamp them into the vise and tap them away, lift them up, tap them back, and you end up with a little 45, which we can then trim off. See how the light glaring off the sheet, which we can then trim off to make a little bracket, and then those little brackets will be tacked under there to each side One in the middle maybe, and one there. Yeah. Now I'll keep the wires out of the way. Or from a bit of tin. So there we go. Spin that round. They're in there, look. And what I've done, I've followed this contour line. So they go above, bridge the contour line if you like. And all you'll do when you wire it up is bend one up. I don't think I can do it with my bare fingers, but you bend one up. Bear with. Little couple of those on it, little Bernards. So you bend one up, run your wires through, round, and then push it down. Yeah, that'll hold it in place, keep it from rubbing on the tyre. Here's another one. I'm making these bits. These are for mounting on the sissy bar. Bear with, look. I'm nothing if not unprepared. We're going to mount some luggage tie stays and some Markerlite affairs. I'm not quite sure which way round they're going to go, but we're going to be using these brackets, right? So I've got 4 of these to make, and they're all going on the same thing. And we want some uniformity, don't we? So what do? Well, although it's just a bracket, we employ standard engineering practice. So I've got my vise locked down onto the bed, which is locked in position. The rotation's locked off, the height's locked off, so it can't move on the whatever this is called, spindle, quill that's called, I think. Anyway, and we've got a little stop. So even if my centre marks were off, my pilot holes were off, then when I drill it with this, it's going to come true. I think this one should be off, so I'll show you what I mean. If the camera will pick it up, it's just the pilot hole is just off centre to the left, yeah, but because I'm jigged up with the stop and everything's locked in place, then once I drill through, which will just take a few seconds, bear with, you should see the Shirley Temples coming off. Put your hands up if you get the Shirley Temple joke about the swarf. I always call them Shirley Temples. You should get uniformity in your brackets, yeah, and it all adds up to making the job look great. So we're finally done. We've got the fender sitting as square as we can get it, being as they're a bit all over the shop. We've got a number plate and backlight bracket plate welded in. We've got the struts sorted. It's actually fucking really firm considering this is a bit flimsy. Tabs are on for the hold downs and the marker lights. All in all, we're about there. We've got chain guard left, and then I've got to check the list because there ain't a lot. So that's coming on nicely. What else have we got to report? Not a lot really. Today, well, the morning, tinkering on that. Just look at that thing, eh? I've managed to get this gear selector selecting. I'm not going to do it because it's not quite as it should be, but if anyone knows about them, that's Norton 36 speed gearbox for the Harrison 140, please get in touch. Quick pan around. That little tool, wasn't that delightful this morning? It's all the same to you, isn't it? This is now this afternoon. Look that lot. So let's spin you back round. So just a quick one really, you know, it's just a taking it easy type thing. Come on, that's shocking, isn't it? A few little bits and bobs. That beautiful old tool, absolutely lovely, and a little bit of this and that. Bit of a vlog. I cannot sign off. I'm really struggling to get that in frame, my logo, and I'm not doing well. I cannot sign off without swapping hands, without saying, here you go, big love, Arco and Idea Outlaw Edge. Big love, Joey Collins at Mill Creek. Big love, Danny at DG. Big love to Mike O'Knight. And big love to Wayne fucking Reynolds. Who's Wayne Reynolds? NZ Mopar Glenn. Lots of love. I'll put links in the description as I always do. Please go give them a like and subscribe and leave a nice comment saying that you found them from me. That way we know that this networking shizzle fucking works. And I'm not just talking to the empty vacuum that is space. Lots of love, everyone. Cheers.